Hey everybody, it's Greg Reinhardt from GRB Academy. Today I am bringing you episode 7 of our quarantine series. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about why players should consider going to a junior college. I think it's a really great option for a lot of people and want to kind of shed a little bit of light on how that decision should be made, some of the benefits, even those who should not attend a junior college. So that's what I'm going to start with. I'm going to start with the 3 types of players that should not attend a junior college. And then if you are within that group, you don't need to think about it. But if you're not in that group, I strongly suggest you take some visits to junior colleges and listen to this and really think about why it makes sense for a lot of people. For anyone who is not fully aware, a junior college is a 2-year school that allows players to then transfer. They obviously offer baseball. There are varying levels of junior colleges. There are scholarships to junior colleges, and there are several World Series based on the divisions. Some examples, since we are in Madison, Wisconsin, there's Madison College. In Arizona, there's Scottsdale Community College, Yavapai, South Mountain. In Iowa, Iowa Western, along with a slew of other ones. Iowa has a ton of junior colleges. Triton in Illinois, John Logan. I mean, there's a lot of them. San Jacinto down in Texas. Texas has great junior college baseball. There's a lot. So there's a lot of ways to think about where you should go. California has basically its own whole world of junior college, but the three types of players that should not consider JUCO. First one, anyone who is looking for an academic level that is super prestigious, and I'm talking Ivy League, perhaps Patriot League, but generally these schools do not accept junior college transfers. So that is why you would not go the junior college direction, like Harvard. They are not going to take a junior college transcript that I know of or that I've ever heard of. But let's name some other academics. If we take the most academic school in the SEC, Vanderbilt, they take junior college players. The most academic school in the Pac-12, Stanford, they take junior college players or have. The most academic school in the Big Ten, Northwestern, they take junior college players. Now, that is not their most traditional route, but they do use them. It is part of their DNA and how they build their rosters, but maybe not, as much as some other places. But so if you think that academic, you can still go to those schools by going to JUCO, but the one that pops out to me is Ivy League. Basically a place where academics supersede the athletic piece of it. That's how I would determine that. But it's mostly Ivy League, which is the Harvard, Yale, Dartmouth, Princeton. You can look them up. The second type of player that I think probably skips out on a JUCO is anyone who's a first rounder, second rounder, possible third rounder, either out of high school or their upside is that strong out of a Division I college. Those players probably go to a Division I school. And I say that they should not think about a junior college if they can basically know that they are walking in and they are playing day one and going to have a productive freshman year. There's limited numbers of those kids, and maybe more kids think that is them than what there really is. But if you're a top, 60 player in the country, you should go to a Division I. And the reason is if you don't sign out of high school, you're going to try and improve your draft stock in college. If you're successful for 3 years in the SEC, the ACC, the PAC, the Big Ten, major Division I conferences, you will improve your draft stock by showing a longevity of success against high-end competition, which is what those divisions offer, or those conferences offer at the Division I level. I think those players probably skip junior college. They need to know that they will play. which no one really knows. Obviously, some people are really, really good. You need to know you're a top player. The third kid is probably any kid who does not desire to go through the recruiting process a second time, or who has no desire to transfer schools halfway through their college education. If that is you, then you shouldn't go to a junior college, because obviously you're going to have to go through the recruiting process again. You're going to have to leave school. You should pick a different school. And if you're not a Division I caliber player at that point, and you decide that no matter what, I just want to go to one school, and that means that you choose a Division II or Division III, then you need to live with that. Before anyone makes that decision, I think you need to question yourself and really have an understanding of, okay, worst case scenario, I am going to whatever college you want to say, it's a Division I college, and I don't want to go to a JUCO because I don't want to go through the process twice. So let's talk worst case scenario. You get there. You do not make the roster. Or you get there and you're a tweener, and you are basically not really going to be an impact player. You're going to have to work for 3 years before you touch the field, and even then it could be sparingly. Like, you're not going to play a ton. Are you going to stay there no matter what? If a college coach comes to you and says, hey, we think there's a better place for you to leave and play baseball. If you made this decision not to go to a junior college, or not to at least look into it first, then you shouldn't leave that school, because you've already made your decision that you don't want to do the recruiting process twice. I don't think that's many people. So I think you need to look at the junior college route for that reason, because no one has any guarantee they're going to make a roster. I think an interesting thing, if we took the state of Wisconsin, or almost every state at this point in time, if you took 50% of players, or if you took 100% of the players that went to a Division I college, I don't have the exact number, but I bet it's 50%, maybe 60%, that play 4 years of baseball for that university, or 3 years even, and go to school there for 4 years. So if you know those numbers, if you know only 50% of the people really stick for their whole time, that means they go there as a freshman, they make the team. Their sophomore year, they make the team. Their junior and senior year, they make the team. And they finish their school there. They haven't flunked out. They're not academically ineligible, whatever comes with it all. If you know that's only 50%, then you essentially are taking a coin flip by committing to some of these schools. And I'm not bashing Division I baseball. I'm just giving real facts of why people should look at every option in front of them. If you're a baseball player that's of the Division I caliber or close, I think you need to weigh in some of the better junior colleges. I will be doing a segment later on how to pick the right junior college. And then I'm really excited. I'm going to do one on the COVID-19 on what's going on in college baseball, because that's there's going to be a couple of years of some interesting things between college and pro baseball. So of those 50% kids that have to leave, either the school tells them they have to leave, or the player realizes that it's hard, or maybe not what they thought it was, and they leave. So if you know those odds, I think you should probably dig in and at least give a junior college some thought. So why choose a JUCO? From a baseball standpoint, if you were only choosing on baseball, someone who goes to a junior college, or someone who goes to a D1, the results of you as a baseball player are not necessarily guaranteed that you're going to be a better player by the time you're done at a Division I than by the time you're done at a junior college. You will not hurt yourself by choosing a junior college from a baseball standpoint, if you pick the right one, in a place that has development and a lot of pieces to it. But from a baseball-only standpoint, you'll be just as good of a baseball player. Here's my favorite reasons of why you choose the junior college, or why you want to consider it if you're a player. One, you're probably going to be on the field sooner, or have a chance to be on the field sooner than if you were at a Division I. And that's not saying the level of competition is is necessarily like far less. I mean, there's some junior colleges that would go in and beat the hell out of Division I baseball teams, and I think everyone knows that. But what you have is as a player, the second piece is you're competing against 18, 19, and maybe 20-year-olds when you're 18. So you're playing against players that are more of your baseball experience. They match your age. Physically, they're probably similar to what you look like at those ages. You step into Division I baseball, you're playing against a 22, 23-year-old redshirt, heck, a 24-year-old fifth-year COVID-19 senior. And you're 18, you have to make the team, and then you have to find a way to get playing time and practice time. So, reasons 1 and 2, you're on the field sooner, and you compete against guys that are more of your baseball timeline and of your age. 3, you're going to get credits in your core credits at a far lower cost. Junior colleges are drastically less expensive. They transfer to almost every school in the country. They know which ones do and which ones don't. Number 4, if you're not a great student, you have a chance to get better grades at a junior college early on than you do at a Division I. Technically, because you're going to be in classroom sizes that are 15 to 35 people. You're going to have more opportunity to meet with the professor, and you're going to knock out your core credits at a higher GPA rate, which down the road is going to open up more opportunities for maybe more academic money that you would not have seen as a high school player coming to college. You've probably matured a little bit, so your grades might be a little bit better, and you realize it really counts. I think most people, their freshman and sophomore year of high school, don't understand, well, this counts, and then it hits you in the face that my GPA stays with me forever. And add those two things together, if you go to junior college, do really well, you're going to have a chance to transfer into a school that you probably don't think about in high school and get a diploma from a really great place. 5, there's more practice time and development time at junior college. And that's a fact. There's less regulations. Junior colleges play a bunch of games in the fall, a bunch of games in the spring. Division I baseball has roster limits on how much their coaches can work with kids, or time limits on how much they can work with their players, how many practices they can have, how many games. They can only have maybe 3 fall games right now. It just got increased. It was 1 or 2 a couple of years ago. So those are, some reasons that you may pick that junior college. So I think everyone, when you're looking at your decision, and there's the prestige of a Division I, you need to factor that out of your decision and think about who you are. Take out the prestige and look at what does a junior college offer you as a student, and what does it offer you as a player, because most people are making decisions on both ends, as a player and as a student. And then junior colleges give you a realistic expectation of who you are and what you are after that second year. And you will be able to make a better decision on what is a great fit for you as a student. You'll be able to make a better, more informed decision of who you actually are as a player. And you'll be able to pick a school that best fits you to play. With early recruiting, there's freshmen and sophomores being committed verbally to Division I's, and we don't know what they're going to look like as 18-year-olds. But if you're a 20-year-old and you've played 2 years successfully at junior college, you have a track record of what you are as a player, what you've turned yourself into. Physically, you're more advanced, and that gives some opportunities for the Division I level. And you make a better choice on, can I play there? The last piece, we talk about the money side of things. So generally, I would say generally, 4-year schools are guessing what players are going to be in a few years. especially if they're out on sophomores, they're going to probably pay a lower percentage of money to that player because they don't know what that player is. They're going to bring in a bunch of them and weed through it because they're like, well, we need this position, and so many arms, and they're going to see what you look like then. And your academic money, like we talked about in episode 1, is given to you based off your high school GPA. If you do not get the GPA needed in year 1 of a transition year into college, which is tough on people, that money goes away. So your package probably looks different in year 2 if you're not rock solid as a student from the kickoff in college. So you probably gonna get less money and have a chance to lose that academic piece. JUCO offers, you're going to get less academic because it's only a 2-year piece, or sometimes the academic doesn't, maybe they don't give academic money to JUCOs, but if you do go to a Division I and you're a junior college player and they give you an academic package, you probably know who you are as a student. You've probably proven it in the classroom for 2 years. You probably keep that money for both years and probably can expect to keep it for both years. It takes some of the guessing out of the equation. And honestly, like, the academic scholarships are usually a little bit higher than what they give to high school players because they know they have a need, a drastic need for a certain position. They have that track record with you. And when they give a high school kid a scholarship, that's a 4-year commitment, technically. But if you stay there for 4 years, they're on the hook for 4 years if they upkeep your scholarship. This is simple, a junior college player. They have a need. Best case scenario, you go in there, you're super awesome, you get drafted as a junior. If you get drafted, you obviously filled a big role for them. It costed them 1 year of scholarship money. You made them better. You got drafted, which is big for their program. Worst case scenario, you go in there and you're just okay, or you're good, but you don't get drafted. It's only a 2-year commitment from a money standpoint for them. So there's a lot less risk for that Division I. So I'm a fan of both. I just think that some of the education on in today's world, everyone's like, I need to be a Division I player. There are so many great opportunities for junior colleges for people to better inform themselves, maybe make some more money, but definitely save money on the front end in class, figure out who they are as a player, get more practice time, get more playing time. There's a reason there's so many people in the big leagues that have went through the junior college route. There's a reason even people who are 4.0s in high school go to junior colleges. It's not academic based. I know there's a fallacy about that, and certainly they have less requirements academically. But if all their stuff transfers to the school you want to go to, it's a great route. So I encourage everyone as you get into the process not to push away from junior colleges. If there's a good one, and that's an episode coming up, take the time to explore it because it may turn out to be a really great thing for you. So that's episode 7. I will talk to everyone soon. Bye.